it has been a hot minute since I've filmed anything, so I thought I would just kind of jump back in with a chatty kind of talking video, using some of my favorite things, but some new things that I kind of want to talk about that I've gotten recently. I don't know where I'm looking. My lens is here. I keep looking over here. Anyway, so first things first, I need to prime my skin, and I'm going to be using the Hard Candy Sheer Envy Hydrating Primer. I like this, actually. It's nice. It's not super sticky. Somebody was telling me it was a dupe for the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Primer. I don't know. I've never used that. I'm not... It just doesn't interest me. So, I don't know. But I've heard several people on YouTube and Instagram say that this is a dupe for that. So, if you're interested, check. But I really do like it. It provides enough hydration, but not enough to where like my foundation is slipping off of my face. Anyway, and then I am going to use a little bit of this Tarte Timeless Smoothing Base. Timeless Smoothing Primer. Whatever this is called. This smoothing one that is on its last legs. My mirror's over here, so if I keep like... Alright, so foundation-ish wise, I'm going to use this. Now, how would you say this? Would you say glowish or glowish? I don't know. Leave me a comment about it. Why am I sitting like this? Anyway, this is new from Huda Beauty. It's like, it says multi-dew skin tint. This is very glowy. I tried this yesterday with a sponge and was not wild about it. So today I'm going to try it with a brush. And if I didn't say, I have mine in the shade Fair, which I believe is the lightest shade. And I'm going to use this Morphe X Jaclyn Hill brush. So I'm just going to take one pump and just... I noticed yesterday, because I forgot to put highlighter on yesterday, that this has, I don't know if it's glitter. It is a very fine shimmer pigment in it. So if you have oily skin, you might not like this. But I've got very dry skin, so I'm all about it. I just noticed it coming off on my hand yesterday. That's the only reason I'm mentioning it. But this is the coverage level. I got the same amount of coverage yesterday with a sponge. So it's about the same coverage level with a brush as it is a sponge. It might be a little bit more, but you can still, it really just looks like my skin. Like in person and on camera, this just looks like my skin. And the color match on this is really good for me too. While I apply this, I remind myself to talk. But I haven't filmed in a really long time because end of the school year, which means prom and graduation. And a lot of people were having like big parties instead of like a traditional prom because schools weren't really holding prom, I guess. So I had a lot of moms booking me to do makeup for their daughter, hair for their daughter, things like that. So that was part of April and May. And then the other part of April and May was weddings. I did a wedding every weekend for those 2 months. You know, and then I've got a 2-year-old, so I have 0 time to sit down and film. She's taking a nap right now, so she's been sleeping for like 3 hours at a time, so I'm like, oh, I'll sit down and I'll film just a chatty kind of video. Don't look at my hair, by the way. I just dyed it and really can't be bothered to wash it till tonight, so there's that. I'm gonna use the Tarte Ultra Creamy Shape Tape in Fair Light Neutral. I like this so much better. Like, to the point where I would probably repurchase it. Like, I used the regular Shape Tape once and was like, no, I'm good. I didn't use it once, I bought it once. I don't know what I just said. Anyway, and I was like, no, I'm good. So when I heard about the ultra creamy version, I was like, yes, I want to try. And I wouldn't say that it's crazy, like dewy radiant, but it's not as matte as the original Shape Tape. But again, it still looks like skin, which is very exciting to me. I love when makeup looks like skin. I used to not be that person. I used to love like a full bake, baking under the eyes, baking my forehead, baking my smile lines. I used to do all of that. Especially when I was working for MAC, I would bake everything so nothing would move. When I got pregnant, my skin got even drier. I pretty much stopped using powder. Oh my god, I can't believe I used to do my makeup that way. But I also did my makeup that way because I was working 2 jobs. Anywhere between a 12 to 16 hour day sometimes, maybe longer. Then for bronzer today, I'm going to use the Danessa Myricks Power Bronzer in the shade Light. I think this only comes in 3 shades, like light, medium, and dark. I enjoy this a lot. I feel like I use my Chanel one a lot, so I need to use something else. And I'm going to use the Morphe E63. This is a fantastic brush, by the way. I think everybody needs this brush. That looks crazy on camera, but we'll get it all blended out and it'll look fine. But other reasons I haven't been filming besides working and being a toddler mom, I am also planning my own wedding, which it's really hard to do when you have a very clear idea of what you want, but those things like cost $8 bajillion. To do a beautiful, nice, rustic, fancy wedding on a very small budget. So I've had a lot of time to think about this, obviously, and I know what I want and I know what I don't want. I just didn't realize catering was going to cost me $1,000, and a photographer was going to cost me $1,000. No, I knew a photographer would cost me $1,000. I've done enough weddings to know what photographers charge. And I don't know who I think I am, but it never occurred to me that a venue would charge $10,000 to, I mean, I know a lot of venues will have their own catering and you can get a cake from them, and you can, they have like their own wait staff, they have their own places. You know, you're paying for much more than just the venue, but $10,000, like, I have somebody I want to use my cake. I have somebody I want to use to make my cake because I know her and I've known her my whole life. I'm like, no, I don't want to use your cake. My childhood best friend has her own, like, catering. Is it catering? I guess it's considered catering, but it's like charcuterie. Is that how you say that? The eating boards. So she's got like her own charcuterie business, and I love that idea. And I'm gonna just have her set up like a whole big like charcuterie board table. And that's such a cool idea to me. I need your catering, I don't need your cake. I just need your venue. Oh, it's still $10,000. Excuse me, I just need the venue. See, it doesn't look so crazy. What I did after I got done applying my bronzer is I just took my beauty blender and like tapped the edges out. To blush, I have been absolutely in love with this Glossier Cloud Paint. I think I need more of these. I need to use up some things first, but I love these. This one in particular is in the shade Eve. And it's kind of dark, I would think, for a lot of people. But I love a good dark kind of burgundy, rusty red blush. It's who I am. What I do is I take, this is a foundation brush, but I take kind of a denser brush and just give myself a nice bruise on my hand. And then I just kind of, I don't necessarily smile, I just lift my cheekbones or my cheek muscles, whatever. And just, see, it's not that scary. It really isn't that scary. Getting the color distributed evenly on the brush, I think, is the trick with this color of blush. I've been really liking cream products lately. Like, who am I? I, in my life, never thought. I used to suck at it, to be honest. And I think that's why I didn't like it, is because I wasn't good at it. The more I use it, the more I'm like, wow, this is really something. This looks really intense on camera in this direct sunlight, but in real life, it's actually quite, I'm not super precise with my blush application. I mean, I am, but I'm not, because, let's be honest, I'm as white as paper, so my skin is kind of red all over anyway, so I'm red naturally all right here. So I like to have a nice wide blush area. Does that sound dumb? Yeah. I don't just like to have blush like right here or like right here, because on my face, that's not what my face looks like. We're moving on from that now. Anyway, I finally used up my Sydney Grace powder. I have this. This is the Kimchi Chic Puff Puff Pass Set and Bake powder in the shade Ivory with a hint of lavender, so Ivender. That's literally what it says on the back. I haven't used this. I've had it sitting in my stuff for months. But I had so many other powders open that I was like, no, we need to use a couple of these up. So I used up my Sydney Grace one, and I used up my Too Faced one. So I'm finally opening this one to use it. And this is actually a very nice puff. I'm not going to use that to set my makeup. Whoa. So that's what it looks like. It just looks white on camera. In person, it does have a hint of lavender to it. And I'm going to use this really dirty Real Techniques brush. When I use all cream products, I kind of set more strategically. I concentrate the powder through this. Maybe I just had some of that Too Faced powder on there. Sorry. But I kind of set here first, and then I'll bring some powder over this area. And this did brighten a bit up under my eye. This seems like it has some coverage to this, because like it's definitely taken away some of my blush color, or it's made it look lighter on camera. In person, it's kind of made it go away. So I might have to go back in a little bit. I don't want to say that I'm just going to use this up under my eyes, to set like under my eyes and use a whole nother powder on my face, because I hate doing that. I'm going to have to try this again, just because I feel like I don't know how to explain this, but I feel like, yes, it's made my face paler, but it's completely changed the color of things on my face too. So moving on, I'm gonna use my Juvia's Place Nubian highlighter in the shade Cleo. I really enjoy this highlighter. It's kind of got glitter in it. It does have glitter in it, but it's super pretty. So, and this is a MAC brush. It's a 137. I wouldn't recommend their new synthetic brushes. I don't like them. I just don't think they work as well as the real hair brushes did, which I don't understand how Real Techniques can make really good quality synthetic hair brushes that feel like real hair, but a brand like MAC can't. Like, my Real Techniques brushes don't do anything weird when you wash them or get them wet or just in general, but the synthetic MAC brushes are just weird. Some of them I like, some of them are fine, but the ones that were like the white hair brushes, they're completely different. They're not the same, and it bothers me. I just don't like them. They did not do a good job when they changed them, in my opinion. So I did my brows and applied my eyeshadow primer off of camera because I did film a more in-depth like brow routine, updated brow routine, whatever, I don't know what I'm gonna call it, because I haven't filmed one in a hot minute, and I get questions all the time about how I fill in my eyebrows from like people in my real life, sometimes on Instagram, mostly people that I see in real life. Anyway, the base that I used is the P. Louise base in Rumor 1. This is fine. It's like a glorified creamy concealer that sets a little bit. It's fine. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. So, moving on to eyeshadow. I'm going to try this again. This is the Morphe 9V Vintage Rose palette, is what it says on the front. It's pretty. It's just not what I thought, I guess. I thought these 3 shades here were going to be more taupey, and they pull quite pink on my eye. Just online they looked very taupey. In person they look more pink. This is a MAC 224. Again, this is a real hair one. This is an old one. But I'm going to start with this shade here. I think it's called Blossom. Yeah, Blossom. And it's gray. I hate people that name eyeshadows if I haven't said that before. Blossom. See what I mean about that looking really pink? Like, I'm using this shade. See how pink that is? Because in person, this looks straight up gray. On camera, it looks gray. I don't know. I'm gonna stop complaining. I just still can't get over how pink this shade is. I'm not a big fan of pink eyeshadow. Like, I like red. I use pinks like to pair with like red and purple eyeshadows, but I'm not a fan of just like pink eyeshadow in general. Like, I look sick. And I'm gonna go in here with this shade, which is called Perfin Pink. Again, really pink. I mean, this one's called Perfin Pink. So now I'm just kind of keeping this more to my crease. Take that under my eye. I like to mirror what's on top with what's on bottom. So yeah, this is where we're at. I'm gonna take this Morphe 573 and I guess this shade. I'm just gonna focus that out on the outer corners. This is a MAC 239. This is one of my favorite brushes. This brush is still pretty decent. This is kind of hard to mess up synthetic or real hair. I'm sure Morphe makes a brush super similar to this. But again, I'm just taking that darker brown color under my eye. And I just would like a little bit more depth in this palette too, I think. I think I would like a almost like black brown versus this. Like this shears out to be pretty light. And since this is not really turning out the way I want it to, I think on the lid I'm gonna do this shade right here, which is called Forget Me Not, because why not? I'm just gonna use whatever base I have left over on my hand to just kind of cut my crease, but not really. What do you call this? A half cut crease, I guess. So then I'm, again, this shade, which is Forget Me Not. I'm just gonna use my finger because what's going on with my finger. See, now this is weird to me because I feel like the base pigment of this color is brown with like a pinky purple shimmer in it, where everything else has a kind of, everything else has like a red base to it, where this is like brown. I don't think I like this palette. Like, I don't think this look looks bad. I just don't think I like this palette. Because I thought it was like a rosy neutral, not pink and purple. I'm gonna have to go get like a black or something, which is fine. Let me go get a black. So I just went and picked up Carbon from MAC. I don't know why I have this. It's not my favorite black, but it's not my most hated black. I don't know, it's just black. I'm just gonna take and kind of not use a ton of this. I need to create more depth, and I'm not getting that with this color. I'm gonna try to fix this to where I like it. Do I think I probably can? I probably could if I really put in the effort. Do I want to? No. It's fine. So then, lastly, because this can't get any worse, I'm gonna use this shade here, which is called Flourish. I'm just gonna take that on my finger. It's like chunky. And we're gonna tap that right, whoa, in here and bring this up across my lid. That has got some pigment to it. Okay, so I like that better. Maybe I should have done this color all over my lid instead of that darker color. I'm gonna hit my face with some of the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. Some, I mean like a third of the bottle. So it looks fine. I don't hate the eye look. It looks much better with mascara on. Every time I look at this, I think Mauve Taupe, not purple, and pink, which is really what this palette is. So beware of that if you purchased this. I don't hate it. I just think I need to remind myself that this is pink and purple, not mauve and taupe. So that being said, let's move on to lips. To this Juvia's Place Luxe liner in the shade Lush. These are some of my favorite lip liners. I think these and the House Labs lip liners are my favorites. So for my actual lipstick today, I'm going to use Melt Cosmetics Nude, which is just like a peachy concealer nude. We are done. Finally. This is where we are. We chatted, we talked. I told you I hate an eyeshadow palette. If you guys made it this far through the video, please hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you want to see more videos from me. And I will see you guys in my next one.